So day 3 of the challenge. Today was who would you like to date? And I picked Canada, which is funny because I live in Canada, so it's patriotic. It's sort of, I don't know. He's very meek and sweet, and I just like him a lot as a character. He's like the only one that I could think of when it came to dating. I had a really hard time thinking about who I'd date. So the thing about this picture and also the picture that I'm uploading tomorrow is I actually drew them the same day I did the Belarus picture, and I'm recording for the audio the exact same day too, because I'm gonna go to a wedding, so I'm just gonna be super busy and I can't. So because of that, these next two pictures are a lot simpler than the other ones because I just was like mildly rushed. But I didn't want to like rush them so much that they weren't good anymore. So what I did instead was experiment with like a simpler style. Um, so I drew this Canada piece like inspired a little bit by watercolor, specifically this movie called Ernest and Celestine, which I didn't I didn't really emulate perfectly, but I think I did a pretty okay job considering I've never used watercolors or anything, so I don't really have any experience to compare it with. So his facial expression cracks me up. Oh my gosh, this was my favorite part. Straight up. It was drawing Kumajiro because I made him so fluffy. And yeah, so if I was coloring this normally, I would have died because I described before like really fluffy hair and that sort of stuff can be really hard to color in. And ugh, it's oof. It can be a pain in the butt. This is kind of a pain in the butt too. Just figuring out his arms because I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I also didn't want it to look bad. So I tried to fix it up a little bit without spending too much time on it. So his arms are a little bit skinny and extra rectangle. I spent a lot of time trying to fix Kumajiro's butt because I wanted, well, I didn't want it to look weird. So I messed around with his legs a little bit. I ended up just kind of leaving it like this. These are his legs and a fluffy tail. And there you go. So you might have noticed I have a tendency to just kind of flit around before I actually start drawing anything. I just like boom, 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 boom all over the place because I don't know. Like I don't realize I'm doing this while I'm drawing. I was only when I was watching the recording back later, like after I did the recording, that I realized, wow, I tend to like zoom around a lot. It's really weird. So I can't really like give an explanation as to why I do it because I didn't even realize it was a thing I was doing until I watched this back. Also, yeah, it's like 1 a.m. and I think I'm being too loud, but I'm like, so I'm too, I'm like, I had a really busy day today, so I'm just very tired and I don't know what to say anymore, and I still have like 2 minutes. Yeah, because this was so simple, the drawing was very, like, because it was so simple, the video is very short. Like, the tomorrow's video I think is like 10 minutes long because I did like 20 sketches and then I was like, oh, this is a sketch I'm gonna do, and then went to work and then realized I didn't want to do the sketch, so I started messing around again. I should stop talking about tomorrow's art because you're not gonna see it till tomorrow. Eh. So I ended up not shading the sweater, and I'm not really sure why, looking back at it now, because it's been like, because I drew this morning, and it's like a completely different time period, so I have no idea why I didn't shade the sweater. I think it looks nice, though. It's a very neat piece of contrast. I was going to do something around his head, but then I realized the circle looked dumb. I realized it looked dumb, so I got rid of it. So then I just put some hearts and some lines and more hearts, and then Kumijiro is hungry, so I drew some fish and some lines around him, and yeah, and I did a small gradient, and then I signed it, because I'm done drawing this. Ta-da.